It's over for the podcast game, man. The NBA podcast has been created. The perfect NBA podcast has been created. It's over. Let's go home. Let's go home, bro. LeBron James and JJ Redick are starting their own podcast. LeBron James and JJ Redick, the first episode is about to drop tomorrow. It's called Introducing Mind the Game, I think. Yeah, Mind the Game. Mind the Game is the name of the podcast. And when we talk about podcast duos, does it get any better than this? When you talk about a podcast where you cannot pull the "they did not play basketball" card, let me say that again. When you talk about a podcast where you cannot pull the "they did not play basketball" card, but it's because it's JJ Redick and LeBron fucking James. When you talk about high production value, when you talk about people who have embraced analytical basketball and talk about basketball on a high level, I don't think it gets any better than this. And to make this about the pod, to make this about what I'm doing, this right here, this combination right here is exactly why I think, even though shout out to the independent content creators, to the fans who are making basketball content and making a living from it, but that top of the game is reserved for the top of the game fellas. Because at the end of the day, I can be as smart as you want, as entertaining as you want, as a fan of the NBA, as a fan of basketball. 9 out of 10 of y'all, and I would even go as far as to say 10 out of 10 of y'all, would rather listen to LeBron James talk about basketball, giving his prestige, giving his career, who he is as a basketball player, than Lil Ol' Me. And if you really think you know ball, man, you must be really good at daily fantasy sports. And shout out to the sponsors of this video, PrizePicks, my personal favorite way to play daily fantasy sports. The game is very simple. All you got to do is sign up for an account and then download their app or go on their websites. Go to the NBA tab because we are NBA fans, but if you like other sports, they got different sports up top as well. And make some picks. Is this player going to get more or less points? Is this player going to get more or less assists? Got a bunch of different stats up here too. Let's make some picks today. I feel like I know a decent amount of ball. I don't know as much as LeBron and JJ, but I feel like I know a decent amount. We got the Magic facing the Hornets tonight. I feel like Paolo's going to have a pretty big night. 22.5 seems pretty low. Oh, the Denver Nuggets are facing a good team today? Yeah, Jamal Murray's going off. Easy. If you know, you know. Let me go ahead and put $15 on this entry. And that is how you make an entry on PrizePicks. And thanks to our friends over at PrizePicks. If you guys use code SLZ, you guys can get a 100% match on your first deposit of up to $100. Links to everything will be in the description. And shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring this video. Appreciate y'all. When you combine that with athletes who have been there, done that, when you combine that with athletes who are entertaining on the mic, it's cooked.
Double exclamation mark.
We are done with player's choice. Y'all are so nasty, bro. So, hey, I love this. I ain't gonna lie, I love this. For the NBA community, for NBA players, because I do love the fact that NBA players are reclaiming their voice. I know some of y'all might be saying, oh, y'all, BSOLZ, you're coping. I'm not. I love this for NBA players. They're reclaiming their voice. For decades, NBA media was the one who controlled what the storylines were. NBA players said, yo, we are going to reclaim that voice. We are going to start our own platforms, own our own platforms, and make bread off of it, and then some. And that's how you get something like this. So this is a snippet from the podcast. We will be reacting to it on stream tomorrow, whenever this shit drops. But I'm telling you right now, I watched it while I was taking a shit earlier. There's levels to this, man. I ain't gonna lie. There's levels to this.
There's a lot of things, other things I would do in basketball too. Like it's a couple other coverages I would do. The pick the picker, B.O.B. Not bombs over Baghdad, but baseline out of bounds.
Yeah. America's play.
Yeah, America's play. Yeah. You have the guard, you have the best shooter sitting in the middle of the lane.
Yep.
You have the biggest wing sitting at the top.
Yep.
5 is on the strong side. You have the point guard taking it out.
Yeah. And then the weak side corner.
In the weak side corner.
Yeah.
It's not many times that the guy, the wing that's coming down the middle gets that pass. Because in theory, if you're guarding the ball, 1,000, 1,000, take away the basket, and then jump out, right? To take away the shot. The guy that's guarding the ball, when he says 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, why doesn't he just take the guard that's coming out for the pick-to-picker, and the guard that's guarding the pick-to-picker guy just falls right to the guy that's taking the ball out?
Yeah.
You go 1,000, 1,000. J.J. Redick is flying off left, right, where you know he's dangerous. He can shoot straight up and down if he wants to, or he's going to fade if he wants to as well, maybe kick you.
It's my natural shooting motion. It's my natural shooting motion.
I'm guarding the ball. I just take J.J., and the guard who was chasing you just falls right to the guy that's taking the ball out. That's one. That's not. We could talk about that.
So no. So what's interesting about that? I like that. I'll tell you why. Because like someone who ran that play, right? So whether I slipped or set the screen, I'm coming off. A lot of teams after 1,000 would send the guy guarding the takeout guy. They'd send him to me.
Yeah.
The problem is my guy's still chasing me. So what happens? I get the ball. I don't have a shot because now I got 2 guys at me. It's a quick pass back to the inbounder. He gets a layup.
So don't chase you.
That's what I'm saying. It's actually a good coverage.
Take you to the screen.
Yeah.
And at the screen, the X5 that's guarding the pick-to-picker big opens up and you slide right to the guy that's guarding. I didn't know if you wanted a second glass. I didn't know. I have another coverage too.
Okay.
I love talking basketball, by the way.
All right, guys, if you like that video, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon.
I think it's moves like this that is going to force motherfuckers to just know your lane and stay in it. I ain't going to lie. I ain't go. If you're the Funny Story Podcast, stay as the Funny Story Podcast, bro. If you know you can't really have these high level conversations on your podcast, don't try them. But if you can, hey, let's dive into it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm happy though. Well, wait till they get on-screen graphics and shit, so they can really show us what they're talking about. It's over. Yeah, man. No, I'm glad, bro. I'm glad for the boundary pushers. I'm always glad for the boundary pushers. And the only thing that sucks about it, and not really, it doesn't really suck. It doesn't really suck. Is it forces people to up their quality. We were talking about it on the podcast, this idea that the middle class streamer is over. And I think Phantom or Bruce talked about it with Kai. How Kai changed the game in terms of making big ass events the meta, and how even Jinxing and Queso and all these dudes sketch is turning the game into quality over quantity. That half-ass turn on live, what we do in chat type of stream, that shit is not gonna work in 2024. It's forcing people to be innovative. It's forcing people to adapt. It's forcing people to evolve. Same thing happened with YouTube. And when Mr. Beast blew up, I know there's a counter movement now with the things that he's done. But when people saw that and the success that he had and how he was dominating the platform, I think there was a sense of, let's up the quality on the platform wide. You know? Why settle as a viewer? Why settle for half-ass shit when this is what's possible? You know what I'm saying? So, have you seen Mr. Beast new calling this Samir? Bro, that's their yearly video, man. I ain't gonna lie. That one feeds families. Those Mr. Beast calling the Samir interviews, those literally feed families. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. If you're an NBA lover, pause. If you're a basketball fan, you should be excited for this. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is gonna be elite hoops, man. Elite hoop conversations. The inner basketball nerd in me is coming right now. Oh my god. Seems like a promising podcast. haven't seen big celebrity podcasts try to do a basketball podcast like this, simply breaking down the game instead of gossip and dumb stuff that has nothing to do with basketball. This is not for casuals. Oh yeah, this is for the basketball nerds. Is this a dream? You know what's crazy? This was so funny to me because prior to this, me and Sage were doing me and Sage were recording TikToks, and one of the TikToks that's about to be coming up is doing an NBA draft with podcasters. And Sage brought up LeBron, given the fact that he had the shop. That was his argument. LeBron had the shop. Is it the shop a podcast? Can I draft LeBron? And I was like, I mean, I guess, bro. I guess you can have LeBron. And literally 30 minutes after, Sage checks Twitter and sees LeBron James and JJ Redick are starting the podcast. That shit is so funny, bro. That shit is so funny, bro. A coinkiest of dinkiest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if the shop don't count, it is what it is. But at this point, he got to count regardless. He has to count regardless. So that was just a funny thing that I seen.